Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. You search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Make sure you check out all the great shows on Locked On Sports Atlanta. This is A to Z. You have Hitting Harder with John Chuckery, ATL Day Ones with Jarvis Davis and Tanisha Batiste. Don't forget about our Braves postcast after every Braves game. Locked On Falcons, Locked On Hawks, getting ready to ramp up as both those regular seasons approach here very shortly. Okay, we have to get to a shovel of wisdom and some news about Georgia. That's all coming up here in the final segment of the show. But the Atlanta Braves continue their winning ways. Last night, they eke out a 2-1 victory over the hapless Pittsburgh Pirates. Jake Odorizzi looked like the guy that, was in Houston. He looked pretty good. 6 innings pitched, 1 run, 7 strikeouts, no walks. That's the kind of line that you want. Only give up 4 hits. One of them was a home run. That was it. But Braves really couldn't do anything off Roansy Contreras. So that name 10 times fast. Roansy Contreras. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, struck out 5. He did walk 3. Nonetheless, it was a Michael Harris 2-run bomb that was the difference in the game. And, of course, it was Vaughn Grissom ahead of him that was on. And of the 4 hits that the Braves had, Acuna had 2, Grissom had 1, Harris had 1. And that was all she wrote there, boys. That was it. It was a very easy quick game for the Braves and Pirates last night. Now, outside of Odorizzi looking good, which he better again against the Pittsburgh line. That lineup is hapless. They can't hit the ball. They can't score. So if he could not do that against them, I would have a little bit of concerns about the whole thing about Odorizzi in general. But look, he might not just be good enough to go against good teams. And he'll do what he's supposed to do against the bad teams. Considering the Braves are playing a lot of bad teams on the stretch, that may be more than enough. So we'll keep our fingers crossed from that standpoint. It is interesting to see how much this lineup is becoming problematic at the bottom of it than the top of it. Justin Toscano of the AJC pointed this out in his column today. It's crazy how the 8 and 9 hole hitters on this Braves lineup are some of the most dangerous hitters there. Right now, Vaughn Grissom and Michael Harris are off the charts good. I told you guys last week that Michael Harris might be the most dangerous hitter in the Braves lineup at this point in time. And I don't think that's off to say at all by any stretch. And the numbers are completely staggering. And let me give them to you here in just a second. First, word from our friends at betonline.net. Fastest and easiest way to check in on all your betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the #1 online source for odds, lines, and games. Find reviews and news of every league, including Major League Baseball, the NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They've got you covered. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. Okay. Look at these numbers from the bottom of the Braves lineup right now. Entering the series opener in Pittsburgh, Atlanta's 9-hole hitters have combined to post a .280 batting average with an .816 OPS. They hit 21 homers and have driven in 77 RBIs. The Braves' 9th spot ranks first in the sport in all those categories. From the 8th spot, the Braves have notched a Major League best 772 OPS. The Braves' 8-hole hitters have combined for 24 home runs, first in baseball, and 57 RBIs. That's 5th in baseball. Now, when I hear that, it reminds me of, and you guys may cringe when I say this, it reminds me of the 98 Yankees when Scott Brosius was the 9-hole hitter for the Yankees that year. He batted .302. I think he hit like 28 home runs and drove in 98 RBIs from in their lineup. And he stayed there all year long. Never moved. He got comfortable there, stayed there, and it was nuts how much it did to the lineup. And here's the rub of this whole thing, because I think that this is something worth noting when you look at it. I mean, the Braves have some struggles, in the middle part of their order. When you get to the Rosario spot, d'Arnaud, I mean, look, Those are the only two real weak points that you're looking at. And we could try to forecast the future, but, is Michael Harris in a position to be moved up in the lineup at any point in time? Probably not. I don't think you tinker with a good thing. I think you kind of just leave it where it is. The real challenge is for Vaughn Grissom, because when Ozzie comes back, how the hell do you keep this guy out of the lineup? I mean, right now, the kid is batting .391, and he's got an OPS over 1,000. Just keeps hitting. He just keeps hitting. I mean, how do you keep him out of the lineup? He doesn't play the outfield, so you're losing one spot right there. I mean, theoretically, you could DH him every night if you wanted to, but man, that's a really, really good problem for Brian Snitker to have. It's a very good problem for Brian Snitker to have. And it's one of those things where I hope he doesn't get crucified for second guessing it. I hope he doesn't get doesn't overmanage in those spots of what he's going to do, because I guarantee you when Ozzie gets back, there are going to be days that Grissom doesn't play. And let's hope that it's not in, games that are super important for them to get. Braves did gain a game last night because the Yankees ended up beating Max Scherzer. Oh, by the way, the Mets have decided to push Jacob deGrom back. And so it'll be Taijuan Walker going for the Mets tonight against the Yankees again. And the Braves have a chance to grab another game in the standings and bring this thing down to, I want to say it'll be down to 2 games if they win tonight and the Mets lose tonight. Yeah, it'll be down to 2 games. So right where you need it to be, right where you want it to be. This Braves team keeps finding ways to impress me down the stretch here. It's not that I thought or expected them to falter or expected them to fail. They just seem to be getting better and better in a lot of these moments each and every day. And that to me is very telling as you head to turn the calendar to September and into the postseason. If they can get the consistency in the starting staff figured out, if they can do that, then they may be nearly, I don't want to say unbeatable, but it feels darn close to it. There's just way too much experience on this team and way too many good players for them not to have a decided advantage over everybody. Our series against the Dodgers and Mets going to be easy? No. It's going to be tough. But it's one of those things where, they have a decided mental edge from having done this last year. So Max Fried will go tonight for the Braves against JT Brubaker. By the way, in case you weren't paying attention, the Braves haven't lost a game to the Pirates yet this year. They've won every single game. So with Fried going tonight, that may continue. Might lay the 1.5 on the run line just for a goof, see what kind of number we're going to get. But hey, if you're just looking for a small betting angle, there's that. Speaking of betting, we're going to be doing a lot of it now that football season is coming up, so stay tuned. All right, speaking of football season, Georgia Bulldogs got some preseason accolades to get to and some NFL news and notes of note. It's coming up next right here on A to Z on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta.